Hello, welcome back to another episode of the World of Color. Last time we got most of our trees in here. Oh, and this area is looking so good. But what I was realizing between episodes is that we're getting a lot of colors from blocks, but some of the blocks we need to actually make the colors. So what I realized is that we have a large opportunity to look at all the different flowers that are on the map and see if they can give us the dyes we need. So I've actually been gathering all the flowers that I currently have and looking at the 16 colors that we can possibly dye. So from pink, red, orange, yellow, I'm not going to go through them all, but as you can see, kind of lining them up here to see how many of the dyes we can get just from coming over and bone milling them. And then obviously looking at them and being able to get the color. That's going to be so awesome. That's going to be a lot easier than trying to set up too many farms. But for some of them, like cyan and the light gray, I haven't found one that I can bone mill just yet. But if you see, I put the two flowers behind the cyan and the white because there is an area, and I marked it with scaffolding up here, that if I come up, and this is kind of that old trick, is if we bone mill the ground, you can see the flowers coming in. That one's pink. That's the cyan. Oh, and now that it's getting dark, looks like those emit light too. That's pretty cool. So some side benefits there. So we may do a regular flower farm kind of through here just to make it easier, because with each one of those has to be one bone mill. So that's pretty expensive per dye. So if we can set up a few, flower farms through here, that's going to be easier because one bone mill will produce a lot more dyes for us. So this episode, we're going to get busy with getting some of these dye farms in. And luckily, I love building contraptions to get these things. So we're going to start up there on the top, get a quick flower farm in. Not sure if we'll build a building around it or if it'll just stay open. But let's get into it. So to get this place started, really it's going to be fairly easy. We're just going to take down the trees that are already there. I love this instant, I don't know what it's called. It's not instant mining, but it's quick breaking. I don't know what they call it in the mod pack, but I love how fast that we can get rid of some of these trees. I wish there was a way for us to keep that. Don't have silk touch just yet. Yeah, and that's not going to break it. So I might have to figure out what we're going to do there. And is that going to deteriorate? I guess part of it. But great, this is going to be fairly easy to clear out. Now the thing I'm going to test is if we just want a one wide flower farm or a double wide. I have a tutorial on my channel for a double wide, but I'm not sure if it's going to fit and if we really need that many of these flowers. And we'll do the double. It's always fun to do a double one. So let me go find that tutorial and then I'm going to follow it and build it out here. All right, and we followed that tutorial. I'll put the link down in the description if you want to go find this tutorial. But essentially what I did was a double wide. This is fairly easy to build through that tutorial. And the thing I love the most about this design is most of it's hidden underground, as you can see. So there's really just only a few redstone components that pop out. Instead of some of the other ones where they're all sticking out the top, this one's fairly easy. Now what this is going to do is when we turn it on, it's going to run the cycle a few times and then shoot out water. The water comes over here and it spills out. Obviously I don't have a collection area. We'll have to get that. But I want to get this dirt in and see if we can get it all up and going. Now the one thing you have to remember with this farm is that the grass has to be spread. So we're gonna have to wait a few minutes for that to spread. And I just realized on one side, I gotta remember to have, oh, how do I get out of here? You have to break that grass. You're gonna have to have it touching the piston. So when it runs, and I don't have bone meal in here, but we can at least see how it's gonna work. It's really loud, as you can see, but, oh, let's let that run. Okay. So that would have made it grow and break, and then the water would be on right now. Still pretty loud. But while it's doing that, I guess we can get the water in. So when it turns back on, you can kind of see how that water shoots out. Oh, that's the wrong timing on it. We got to pull it out. So when the floor is moving is when we've got to put it in there. So it's going to be loud. I'm going to back away for a minute so you can actually hear me. So I'm going to put that water in, let the grass grow, and then we will put the bone meal in and see if this thing works. All right, we got that water in. We got most of the grass. It looks like we've just got one little piece that hasn't grown all the way in, but I think that is good enough to test it. Now, I don't have very much bone meal. We're going to be building up a bone meal generator, I think right next to this. We'll have to figure out where we're doing that, but we'll at least give this a test. So this barrel basically is taking it, and I think it's easier to see on this side. Yep, into a hopper line that goes all the way into that dispenser inside. So we're going to stick both of the bone meals in there. We're going to let it sit here for a second while we let it soak in. And I think that's probably good enough just for a test run. It's going to be loud again. Oh, it did not like that. My computer got a little laggy right there. But looks like the first side ran. Oh yeah, I think both sides are working. I don't know, maybe the second side's not working. Yeah, I'm not sure if this second side was working. I saw it pop in a few times. I can't tell if it's just so quick. But look at all this stuff that we got out of there. Oh, even if that second side's not working, we're getting plenty of flowers. And I think this must be a leftover from out here, because I'm pretty sure those don't grow. But that's a pretty decent amount of flowers. And what do these give us? That's white. That's light gray. I think this is the cyan. This is the pink. Oh, and I didn't realize the alliums, which are magenta. So that's pretty cool. 5 colors from one farm. That's the type of farms we're looking for. Now we might do these out in some of the other places. I checked around here, bone milled the ground. It's basically those same flowers all through this area. But that's great. That's our first set of colors. Now we should probably come down and see which of these too tall, because it looks like we're going to get 5 of these colors out of one farm, so we can start knocking off which ones. So I'm maybe going to take these, put them in front of the sign now so that we know if we've got a farm set up for that one. And that will help us know which ones we're going to build. All right, now that we have those identified, I realized I was running over here to the iron farm and never showed y'all how well these farms are doing. Now I'm going to show you both the automatic carrot farm, I don't know what they call it, where it's inside of the little glass trader booth. We only have one of these guys, and he's produced all of these carrots. And then this is the iron we've gotten, and that's with me taking out, I don't remember, 2 or 3 stacks for our farm over there. So those are doing amazing. I'm so glad we got those in, because we never really have to worry about iron. Now the other one, if you remember, was a bigger double wide carrot farm. And let's see how these guys are doing. Oh, wow. Okay, we got a real competition on our hands. This is almost, what was that? 2 rows plus 2? 2 rows plus almost 3. What was this one over here? I think they're pretty comparable, which is pretty cool. I've been wondering, oh, this one's a little bit less, but you know what? We could have probably had another one of these guys and it would have been faster. So I think this is going to be the real way that we trade with our villagers, just because it's going to be a lot quicker, really hassle-free, and not needing to take up so much space. We're going to leave both of them running, keep seeing how they do after time. And now I am headed back up. We're going to go back to this area. I want to at least get a double flower farm in, even if we don't have all the bone meal right away. I do want to put a nice little building right here. And I'm trying to figure out, how do we do it? Should we incorporate that and push the building maybe over a little bit? Or do we just leave this? Maybe we'll make it its own separate building. Oh, that's the fun of Minecraft. There's lots of different options that we can do. So I'm at least gonna maybe frame up an idea here and frame up an idea here and see what it looks like. Okay, I decided if we're gonna have a flower farm for our 2 hives and we're gonna have this flower farm, we needed to get some bone meal. So I created a bone meal generator, and I'm gonna put the tutorial down in the description. This was not one of mine, so I definitely wanna make sure the person who built it gets the credit. This might be a little loud, so we'll try and jump out of the way a tiny bit, but it's pretty standard moss farm. The stone comes out, the moss gets popped up. Here in a second, you're gonna see that it's gonna bone meal the moss so that you get all the azalea bushes, and those are gonna get flushed over. Now what this does is, let's see if I can do this without getting hurt, is it's gonna keep the bone meal going up into the dispenser and then some of the extra being put out down here. So the nice thing with that is we can just let it run. Now I would love if there was a way that we could automate that with a mod in here. I don't think there is, so we're just gonna let that run. And as you can see, I'm back to my old dirt pillar ways of trying to figure out, like, what does this building look like? I think this one's gonna be a little bit bigger. Like, oh, fell off the dirt there. But I think we might make it go all the way back. I don't know, I might squeeze this in a bit because we're pretty far off of the back. I'm not sure, but that's at least gonna get us a pretty cool building, I think, here. So now what I'm gonna do is kind of figure out what our color palette's gonna be and how tall these are gonna be. I wasn't really planning on these 2 buildings being put together, but I think it's gonna work out all right. And so I think we might start with this one and then figure out what goes next to it. Like, is this a little barn type structure? And maybe this is, I don't know, maybe we pull a porch out here. Huh. All right, well, let's at least build a facade and see if we can figure out what this thing should look like. And before I forget, we got one of these rare hat grab bags. So let's see if we're getting a new hat. Ooh, a clock head and an Easter hat. Let's see what these ones look like. Let's see, they go there. Nope. Does it go here? What is this then? A hat. It says it's a hat. Not sure where it goes. Let's see if the clock goes on. Oh yeah, we could be clock face. I think the monkey ears are still gonna win out. So let's get building. Oh wow, I've been having way too much fun with this. I don't know how I'm going to ever keep track of all these different blocks. But this is really getting fun. So I've got my 2 benches. If you haven't seen these before, it's the carpenter's bench and the mason table. Now both of these allow us to get a whole bunch of bricks. Like, this is tuft, this is just stone, this is just stone, and I say just stone. And all of that is redwood. So we've been cutting down a few of those, or maybe a lot of them, and really seeing what shape we can get here. Now I want this to look mostly like a factory, so it's not going to have a traditional roof. It'll probably be more of a flat roof. Like, I'm even thinking maybe some smokestacks over on the side. Like, I want to make this feel very industrial. But then maybe the portion next to it feeling like, I don't know, maybe it was the original, I don't know, house here with a factory added on. I don't know, I'm still coming up with the concepts, but I'm wondering if I can use this purple wood with this orange reddish wood. I don't know if that's gonna look good, but you know, in a world of color, that's the fun we get to have. Like, out there, our buildings are very much just different colors next to each other, and the concept's gonna continue to go that way. We really don't want this to be, I don't know, everything clean all in one color. We're gonna do different colors next to it, make it feel like these people really wanted different colors for their whole world. Because obviously the trees are like that, the environment's like that. So I think we're gonna try it and see how it looks. So I'm gonna keep seeing if I can figure out this front elevation, maybe the roof, and then from there it's just fleshing out the rest of it. Well, I played with a lot of options, and there were a ton, man. We went through all sorts of different colors. I tried the purple woods. I tried, what else did we try? Some of the pinker woods, but I kind of landed on yellow. And I think the reason I was struggling is I was trying to make this look more like a house. But what I decided to do is, since this was kind of flat on top, I said, well, what would this actually be? and I found this, what are they? The palm planks, and they come in really cool shapes where it looks like this is almost pounded metal, and this looks like, I don't know, a door that comes up. So I thought, why not make it look like there's a door with two different delivery docks, I guess is what we call them, where you could pull up a little cart, a truck, whatever, pack it up, and ship it off into the world. So that's kind of what we did here. Now, I still got some landscaping to do, but we roughly have the outsides done. Oh, we still got a lot of work to do on the inside. But you know, these farms are up and running. I had to turn this off because it was a little loud, but it's already starting to produce lots of bone meal. So that's going to be awesome for us, because what I want to do in the next episode is get up our two high flower farm. Wow, it's always a tongue twister. And I think we're going to put that right next door. So what we'll probably do is some kind of automation where we ship it from here up into that world so that it's easy to get. And we'll have all of our kind of colors all in one spot here, which I think will be pretty cool. So before we wrap this up, I think I'm going to do a little bit of landscaping. Not too much, because I'm not sure how far out the tree farm's going to come. Haven't determined this area quite yet. But let's at least get a little decoration in there, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, and we tried not to go too crazy, but I think we got a pretty decent little bit of landscaping in. I'm not quite sure, like I said, what we're going to do here. I do know I want a sawmill here, so I didn't want to go too crazy. But we definitely got some crates in, some little decorations. Under the moss carpet are some torches, so we could hide the lighting a little. We've got it up on the building, which is great, but out here I want to make sure we stay safe. And then we got some little doors in. I'm not sold on this kind of door styling for a factory, but some of their trap doors, I wasn't quite sure if that's what I wanted either. So definitely have some options we need to do there, because if we look inside, oh, we've still got the whole floor to do. We've got a lot of decorating inside. So we're just going to put a door on that for now and pretend like it's fine. Because in reality, we might not go in there that much other than to run the farms. So maybe that's fine for this world, because I want to keep us going on the different buildings. But y'all, that was a lot for one episode. We got the moss farm behind us. We got the flower farm. We got a bunch of too tall flowers. And we are ready to crank out some more dye. I love all the different colors we're getting here, and all the woods. I mean, look at all that wood behind me. It looks like bricks. It looks like metal. Man, we're going to be able to do a lot of cool stuff. And now we have even more colors. So I'm excited to start jumping into that next episode. But until then, we'll talk to you soon.